Today's a bit rough. Really tired, really sore. Don't want to get out of bed. My legs. Right there. And my hips. Just killing me. Found out I get my first appointment for the infusion on February 9th. My sister says it helps her out tremendously, so hopefully it'll help me out. Alright, well, I guess we'll keep this short. You may hear from me later today. Might get better. Usually does. Mornings are the worst.
Almost dropped it. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there and gotta flip the screen. Okay, keep dropping the phone. Okay, that was 8 years ago. I had just started off with, in that video, I had recently found out I had muscular dystrophy and I was going to start treatment. And my sister had started treatment a good deal before me. And that makes a big difference. Also, at the time, we didn't know that my two brothers also had muscular dystrophy. My older brother had fallen down a few times. They were both in group homes in different states. My older brother is retarded, and my younger brother was mentally retarded. And maybe they have a different term now because it's not right to say that. But anyway, that's what it was classified and that's all I know. Anyway, I say that because they had a hard time expressing themselves, and we had to fight for them. And the doctors over their facilities wouldn't listen to us, and we had to actually threaten lawsuits. And once they got tested, yes, they tested for Pompe disease. And they were showing signs that the doctors were literally stupid. Anyway, turned out all four of us had Pompe disease. And when you start treatment, it really does matter how quickly you start. Between me and my sister, it was a few months, and she's just now 8 years later getting on a cane, where I've been on a walker for a couple of years at least. So I went downhill pretty quickly, a lot faster than she did. I stabilized a little bit, and now at the time I was in so much pain. I was in agony, and I've learned how to cope with it, deal with it. You never get used to it, no matter what. I've heard people ask, well, don't you get used to it after having it for so long? No, you don't get used to it. It's like you stubbed your toe when you were a kid, and you stub your toe now. Is it any easier? Just because you stubbed it when you were a kid and you already knew about it or used to it? Maybe you stubbed your toe 1,000 times, just 1,002nd time not hurt? No, it hurts just as much. You never get used to it. The thing is, you learn to cope, and some of us hide it for whatever reason. Now, I have a harder time hiding it because at that time, I could walk halfway decent. When I was able to walk, I could walk halfway decent. But as time progressed, I started hobbling, and then I needed a cane, and then eventually I had to have a walker. I'm not in a wheelchair yet, but my older brother is. Now, in 2020, all that was 8 years ago. In 2020, my younger brother passed away due to Pompe disease. That's how bad it is. Yes, you can die from it. And he did. It started affecting his breathing. It was hurting his chest. He didn't know what it was. All he could say was, my chest is hurting. And they would check his heart and his heart would be fine. They never checked his lungs, which, if they were responsible doctors and if they'd studied up on Pompe disease, then they would have known to check out his lungs. Well, they finally put him on a CPAP machine at night for breathing. And they said that was because he had sleep apnea. They didn't do it because they found out that he needed it because of his Pompe disease. They did it because they said he had sleep apnea, which he would have passed away sooner if they hadn't. Now, he was on the CPAP and he was on a 2-hour bed check, which meant every 2 hours they'd have somebody go around and check and make sure he had his mask on and he was okay. Well, they checked on him at 12. And when they came to check on him at 2 a.m., he was cold. His mask was off and he had stopped breathing. And his body was cold. So it means they missed him. Probably happened right after they had checked on him. They checked on him and that probably woke him up a little bit, and the mask probably bothered him and he took it off, and then he died. But so, and what people don't understand is it affects us differently. Like for my brother, my younger brother, it was his lungs. Now, he had a hard time walking, and he was in a wheelchair by that time, or a powered wheelchair. Anyway, but it had progressed into his lungs quite a bit. For me, my legs ache, and you find out which muscles are which. The muscles you need when you walk backwards are different than when you walk forwards. Those muscles for me are affected, and those are very sore. Now I don't know, maybe I should study the parts of the muscles already, but I haven't. Is it your quads? I don't know. Your thighs are on top, and on the side, is it your quads? I'm not sure, but for me, the thigh muscles don't work, and those are sore quite a bit. But the side muscles are hurting. Whenever I try to get up, it's hard. I have to put my hand in between my legs on the seat and push up as I stand up to be able to get up. And it hurts. My legs hurt. And I hate getting up. I tremendously hate it. I'm in a Herman Miller chair right now, and you can see my walker over there. But anyway, I'm in a Herman Miller chair, and one of the nice things about it is when you go to get up, it has kind of a spring in the back, which kind of gives it a little push. So it helps me to get up. And so that's my favorite chair. But now, the height of chairs also matter. A chair that's 18 inches is really hard to get out of. Chair 21 inches is easier to get out of. Just 3 inches different. Even 2 inches or an inch makes a difference. Now, the medications I was on Percocet and Oxycontin, and I switched over to Suboxone, which, if they wanted to get rid of the I'm trying to say so many things at once. Opioid. If they wanted to get rid of the opioid crisis, switch over to Suboxone. Change it overnight. Suboxone takes care of the pain just as much as the others, but your body doesn't get used to it, and you can't overdose from it. It comes with naloxone inside it. I guess if you took a lot of them, maybe you could overdose. I don't know. But anyway, it makes it very hard with the naloxone in there. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up soon. I keep forgetting the camera's over here. I have my phone landscape. But it took a while to get used to all the medications I was taking, pain meds, the treatment for the muscular dystrophy, arthritis medication, diabetes medication, quite a few medications. I take 7 or 8 right now. And I had to get used to all that. I've learned when to go lay down, when I can do things. I do spend a lot of time dozing off. It's hard. I have a hard time sleeping. I have a hard time with words sometimes. But I'm going to try to stop this at 10 minutes. So maybe I'll do another one, but I know it's been a long time since I've been on here, but maybe I'll start updating more. So take care, and hope to see you soon.